Hey everybody, welcome back to Mishaps, Magic, and Mayhem. I'm Tyler Skinner, and I want to tell you the truth about my story. When I think of the words mishaps, magic, and mayhem, this is where my story begins. When I actually found out about the Vegas gig, I was in my bedroom. It was like 10:30 at night. I hadn't checked my computer because I was busy with the kids and I had all this stuff going on. We had done dinner. And then I got into bed and I kind of just, something told me, I don't normally check my computer at night. I wait until the next morning and I have my screen time shut off where I'm like, okay, just leave it be till tomorrow. And I checked my computer, I opened it up and I popped in like the first thing in the inbox line because it'd come from the organizers. And they're like, great, we got your proposal and we're good to go. We'd like to move forward. Please send us your price list. And I went, what? And my face, I remember kind of freaking out and shutting my laptop really quick and slamming it down. And I'm in bed just like jumping up and down. And I got so excited. I was breathing so heavily. And my husband was next to me. He's like, are you okay? What's going on with you? What happened? Is something wrong? Did you get bad news? And I was excited, but I looked like I was kind of panicky at the same time. And I said, I just got it. I just got the gig. I'm going to Vegas. I am going to speak in Vegas. I can't believe this. I've been waiting for this. And he looked at me and he's like, congrats, honey. That's great. And he's like, you've been working on this for a long time. Like, I have been working on this more than a long time. And it just, the instant feeling, I guess, I got, and I ran downstairs and told my kids right after that because I wanted them to know. I wanted them to see what that feels like when you get the yes. When you've worked hard on something, you've practiced, you've put in the reps, you've done your due diligence, or you've just like dreamt about it, done all the things, and then you get the yes. What does that feel like? And that moment was just, I want to tell the most important people in my life, and that was my family. That's the people that have been with me by my side through thick and thin, through all the hard times and the ups and downs the last several, many years. And I really wanted them to know how I was feeling and what I was experiencing, and it was just pure elation, and I was ecstatic. Oh my God, this opportunity, the reason I say it wasn't overnight is because of the practicing. I think that part of it is the practice. The reason I also say it wasn't overnight is because I have been building community and relationships and working with people for years. I mean, I've been handing out contacts and building my relationships and supporting others in their endeavors and giving them all these things and giving my time, right, of service, like giving myself freely, getting paid, like whatever it was. I just been out there doing the thing, right? Doing what it takes. And it's been noticed. I think that was the main thing, is it got noticed. It got picked up by a woman who is in our community, who I respect and admire very much. She's kind of seen me on my trajectory. She's watched me be on boards and be in leadership roles. She's been around when I've been kind of doing a couple local speaking things with chambers. She's just been there to watch me. I've invited her into some of my programming when I was building something, and she was a yes and came in to support what I was doing. And she's mentored me, and she's been by my side in different ways and said, hey, you know what? I think, and she just spoke my name in the room that I wasn't in. I think that was the biggest aha for me of, that's what it is. You don't always get the ROI everyone talks about. You're not just going to get an automatic return on your investment of time. You invest time because you care. You invest time because it matters. You invest in people because you never know what's going to happen. Why not give of yourself? Why not be of service? Why not be that person? And then know that that's going to come back to you in dividends. And that's exactly what happened. So I talk about this a lot with women and with my clients and with people I work with. And I say things, even in my community, when I built Women Making Waves, I would talk about this with women in groups, and I was facilitating. And I would say, it's not, the practice and the reps, all those things, yes, but it's the investment. It's you investing in yourself before you're ready. That was the biggest thing about storytelling school. I said yes to something. I had met this woman on, I think it was, where did we meet? I'm trying to remember it now. Just let me think about it for a second. I remember meeting her on a group something, and we instantly kind of connected. And I went, oh my gosh, she was invited in. That's right. There was a mastermind class that was being developed, and I was asked to be one of the people teaching as an expert, like teaching one of the units. And they were going to have every month have a different person teaching it. And I was asked, she was on that group too. She was asked, and she was in Santa Barbara, which isn't very far away from me. And I thought, she's got a whole thing where she does TEDx talks. And you know what? Instantly, that's where it got me perked up, because I thought, I have a TEDx talk sitting on my desktop right now because I've written something that I knew I was going to share. I had written something and it was on my desktop and I knew I was going to share it one day. And then when she said the word TEDx, I went, okay, she's my people. I need to talk to her and find out what this is about. And let me tell you something right now, just to be clear, it was a huge investment. I mean, I'm talking financially, emotionally, all of it. It was a big lift. I mean, the biggest lift I'd ever had at that moment, and that was about 3 years ago. And it was a big lift. I never thought that I was going to be able to pull that off in any way. And you know what? I figured it out. I really wanted it that bad that I made it work. I figured it out. I pulled some things together. I just, I like sat and made it like work with her. I started small. With her, I started out like, can I just do your workshop? And then it became, oh, can I do your 6-week course? And then from there, I was like, I need more. And I joined her mastermind. And that was the big lift. That was like, okay, you're ripping off the Band-Aid times 1,000. You are going to be with a group of people from around the country. They're all practicing their TED Talks. Some of them have books. They're doctors. They have all these backgrounds. Talk about that imposter feeling, right? The experience of being like, what room is this that I've been invited into? But it was because I was meant to be there. I only knew that later. At the time, I totally didn't. I was sitting there going, I'm not these people. They have a lot going on. I'm just little old me living in San Luis Obispo. What do I have going on that's so special? What do I have to say that's important? And I had no idea how to construct a story, how to craft my story, how to find my story. She helped me do all of that. They are fabulous. They sat with us and did these exercises and the reps and like really pushed us. I mean, pushed. It's like military style, like where you feel, and gently also. It wasn't like hardcore, but you were stretched all the way. And talk about the edge. I was at the edge all the time. The entire process. I was kind of like going back and forth, like, should I have done this? Is this the right thing? I was going back and forth, grappling with that. Like, should I have done this? Is this the right thing? Did I make the right choice? And they were lovely about it. They helped me through even those times when I felt the doubt creep in. They were there to support me and lift me back up to the place of, no, your story matters. You matter. This matters. This moment. And I went through that process, and it was a year mastermind. And then we went to Bainbridge on a retreat. And that story is what I want to tell next. I hope we get into it, because that story in that moment in Bainbridge, that finale, so to speak, of that mastermind with all those people in one place is what really changed everything. I mean, I don't think I'd be speaking right now and doing this, what I'm doing, without that moment. So that moment, we were in Bainbridge. We were there for 4 days. Again, another lift. I did not, at the time it was a Christmas time. Think about it. You've got all these like bills coming in. You have Christmas, you have the kids, you have all these things. I just felt like, I don't know if I can go. And this was a time where I almost said no. I swear to you, I almost said no. I was sitting there going, I can't go. I can't do this. I can't afford it. It's not the right timing. She's inviting me and she's giving me all the things. Like, she knows that I'm ready. I've built my story. I've dug in. I've done the work. I've sat there and cried my eyes out, and I've emotionally poured myself into this, and I've invested. And she's like, are you really going to go that far and then just quit? Just stop? And I'm not a quitter, first and foremost. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, we're doing this. I've got to figure this out. Even if I have to like borrow money, whatever I have to do, right? I'm like, I have to go. And I go to this event and I get there. Again, I was just tired. It was cold. It was wet. It was dark. I got there late. I got there a day later than everybody else because I couldn't get on the flight. It was a whole mess. And so it just felt like that other time where I traveled by myself. I left my family behind. It was the holidays. I was going, oh my God, what am I doing? And when I got there, I was so welcomed, and I felt they had a beautiful package waiting for me in my room of a blanket and a cozy coffee thing. I mean, it was so wonderful, is my point. The gifts, the intention, the thought that's put into it, that I instantly felt okay. I'm like, all right, they've got me. I've got this. And once I started to meet the people in the group, there were actually some newcomers. Once I started to meet the people in the group, we did all these improv exercises. It was super silly. At one point, I was a Latina woman, and I had like this accent. I channeled like a Rosie Perez, and we had to do all these funny, silly things in front of each other to get us out of our own heads, to help us get to those places of being on stage, or to what that feels like to ditch the fear and to be on a stage and have the lights on you or have people in the audience and how you feel, right? And I just remember sitting there writing in corners of rooms and looking out at this beautiful bay and just like getting really into my story and like, what is it that I'm about? Who am I? And one night I'm in the kitchen with this man who was there, and he was opening a theater in Ohio, in Youngstown, Ohio. And he was working with them on building out a TEDx stage for Youngstown. So a bunch of the people that were there were going to be on that stage at some point. And he said to me, the night we're at dinner, we went into the town of Bainbridge to have a dinner, and it was the 10 of us sitting around the table. And he said to me, you know, I've been listening to you this entire last couple of days, and last night in the kitchen when you were sharing with me, I asked you a few key questions about your passion and just like what Women Making Waves is about and how you built it and what you're feeling and what you've been going through, what you've experienced. And your response to me was so profound. I felt something in what you were sharing. And I thought to myself, that girl's like the next Mel Robbins and she doesn't even know it yet. And I went, what? I'm like, Mel Robbins is like someone I admire. I mean, I watch her stuff. I follow her feed. I love her. And I thought, that's not even like, dude, you got it wrong. Like, that's not even close. And yet, as he was saying that, I started thinking, I felt a little brightness. I felt a bulb light up in me. I felt a little bit of a spark. Like, what does he see? What is that? And maybe he's right. Maybe there is something that I have that's unique, that's special, that is a brightness. Maybe it's not Mel Robbins. I can never be her. She's her. She's unique. She's her own person. But maybe I could be something like that. Maybe I can give people that same connection, or I can be able to do those things. And that was the first time that I thought about that. So at the dinner, he literally in front of everyone, to my total shock and surprise, hands me a little piece of brown paper, and he folds it up and he writes something on it, and then he passes it across the table towards me. And he says, you know, I'm doing this event in Ohio, and I have all of these thought leaders and speakers and entrepreneurs coming, and I really think that you could be the headliner for that. What do you think? Would this be an acceptable fee? I opened up the little piece of paper, and my face, I think my mouth was about like 10 feet long on the floor. It was like, what? And everyone around me, of course, is like, what do you say? What is it? What is it? What is it? And I didn't want to say a thing. I just kept it to myself. I folded it back up, put it in my pocket, and I just kept it to myself for a second. And honestly, that was the first time that I ever didn't want to just go, look at what I got. Like, I didn't want to get crazy. I normally am like that. I'm very out there. I'm very forward. I share a lot. I sometimes overshare, but I didn't want to in that moment. I wanted to sit with it for a second. I was so shocked that I didn't even know what to say. And I think what happened next is really important, because the next morning at 5 a.m. we got on a ferry and we went to home, and I asked him, I had to ask, because I spent the whole night thinking about this. I was up all night. I asked him on the ferry, I said, what was that about? Like, can I please ask you why? Why? I don't see that at all in me. And then you're giving me this opportunity, or you're handing me something that I don't even understand what this is. And his response was beautiful. He told me a story, which I won't share the whole story here, but he told me a story of like a kismet moment where everything aligned and it didn't make any sense. And what his point of the story was is that he had gotten like a nudge or something that he felt like was for him, he was very religious. He felt like it came from God. And he said, I got a nudge and I got something speaking through me that said, give her a shot. She's this, she doesn't know it yet. She needs this shot. And that's all he said. And I honestly have never talked to him since. I never got that thing happen. That thing never came to fruition. It didn't end up happening. I never got the 10K, right? This was almost 3 years ago. I never got it. And I kept in touch with some of those people, but that is what ended my time with them. And I saw a few of those people afterwards. We did a couple more things at some theaters and some exercises, but I never ever got to know that part of myself. And I kind of just left it on the shelf for a little bit, to be honest. I went, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe the speaking thing is hard. I don't know if I'm ready for TED. I don't know if I'm big enough. I just don't know. And I kind of let it go for a second. And here we are 3 years later, and this is what's happening. I get that, 10K coming sliding my way in a different way, right? In a different way where it's not about the 10K. That's what I really want to share. It's not about that at all. It's not about the amount of money. It's not any of that. What it is the belief. It's the belief in someone, helping someone see themselves before they do, helping someone feel like they're worth it and they're valued and they're seen and they're visible and they belong, or they can do these hard things or do these amazing things before they're ready. That's the key. And that's what I felt in me. And I went, okay, now I've got to be her. Now I've got to become her. If that's what people see in me and that's what they know or they feel, and I see that and I know that, but I just haven't fully executed it yet, then here we go. So when that opportunity came my way and they said, what's your price? I just went 10K send and let it go. Didn't think about it. I went, my life's going to be the same. I'm going to keep being a mom, keep doing what I'm doing, and everything's going to be okay. And then the rest. That's the rest of the story. Like, it happened and it's happening. And I'm about to head off to Vegas and be able to give this beautiful talk and experience. And I love it more because it's not a keynote. It's an experiential keynote where I get to share my story and help people interact and work and alchemize and do the things that I love to do the most.
Last question. What do you want the women listening to this right now to take away? The one who is standing at the edge of her own yes, doesn't know if she's ready.
I think the edge is an important place. I think the edge is where we see what we're made of. The edge is scary. The edge is challenging. The edge is daunting. The edge is also rewarding, and it's super informative. The edge tells us where we are, where we've been, where we're going. The edge is like right in that precipice. It's right in the middle. It's the void, almost like the bridge between and the gap of like where we're headed. So I think the edge is the most crucial part you could be in. I love working with women in transition. I love being in transition. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't always love it. Who loves it all the time? It's hard. I mean, it can be hard. And I've been there so many times, and I've been in some dark places. I've lost 90% of my business in the pandemic. I've rebuilt a community, and then now I'm changing that and evolving into something a little different. But the edge for me came on the trapeze. And that's what I'm going to really dig into and dive into in this story, in this part of the legacy, and this part of the story, and this next leg of the journey, is that when you're at the edge and you're standing on something, mine was a rickety platform 50 feet in the air, and I was freaked out of my mind because I'm terrified of heights. But I had someone there in my ear to sit there and grab me in my harness and pull me back and say, hey, take a deep breath, grab that bar, and just let go. Your body will know what to do. It'll do the rest. That's all I needed. I needed those small little words, and it said, take the step, and then you'll do it. One step, and I looked down, took a deep breath, and I let go. 3 times later, I was caught in midair. I mean, it was like amazing, and I just felt like that's the feeling. That's the feeling. Stand at that edge, look at it, shake, feel the fear. Let your body tremble. Let yourself cry. Let it all come out. Let those emotions come to the surface. That's where we need to be, because that's where growth happens. That is the next level of you. That is the next version of you. It's on the other side of that. People always say that. You're on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of the door. Open that door. I mean, that's what that is referring to. So whatever edge you're standing on right now, it could be a hard conversation. It could be a complete new job, changing cities, whatever you are, leaving corporate to start a business, becoming a mother or parent for the first time. Whatever edge that is for you, embrace it. Embrace it, engage with it, examine it, go for it. Just be there, be in it, be with it. I promise it will change your life, and it won't be for the worse, it'll be for the better.